lot has come out lately about, the mocap session that people are speculating, or the Cid Highwind, and a lot of people have messaged me and said, what do I think about it? I don't really think a whole lot about it. I think it's just like, hey, we know Cid is in Final Fantasy VII, so they will have to model him in Remake and have a mocap actor. Now, the thing I do find interesting is a lot of you have messaged me and said, like, other big content creators like Blitz, and I think some other people speculated that it's mocap for Remake Part 3. And a lot of you all have been kind of alarmed that you all think this means the Cid's not popping up till Remake Part 3. No, that just means that he has a scene in Remake 3, which he will be in Remake 2. He will be in the second game. That just means that he is also in 3. I hope that is mocap for the third game, because if it's mocap for the second game, we are a long ways away from this game coming out. So just bear that in mind, because they'll have to model and texture everything, and they'll have to clean it up. They should be approaching cleanup phase right now. Cleanup, bug testing, all that kind of stuff. They should be approaching that phase right now, if it's coming out in 2023. But before we get into what I think is happening with Cid Highwind in the second game, please throw a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you get all kinds of great theories, speculation videos and stuff that I've got coming, because I have a lot of speculation and theory videos coming this week. I got 2 dropping today, and this is one of them. So anyway, let's get right in to what I think is happening with Cid Highwind in Remake Part 2. I hope they don't really change much with the characterization of him, because he is a mature themed character. There is a lot of bad things going on with him. He's not a great person. He's really not a great person. He mentally abuses Shara. I don't want them to take the gas off of that. I don't want them to take any fire off of that at all. I think that needs to be in there, because that's part of his character arc. He's a grumpy SOB, and he has just been screwed over by life, and he went the wrong direction with it. Now he's taking it out on her, and part of his character arc is him becoming a better person. It's him becoming the hero that he becomes. Part of the thing that I love about Cid Highwind's theme music is it's got this very kind of uplifting, kind of like, take on the world, reach for your dreams kind of theme to it. And that's kind of what Nobuo Uematsu was going for with that theme, because it's tragic, because Cid Highwind reached for the stars in the Shinra space program only to have his dreams dashed. And to be getting older and realizing that he may have missed his window, that he may have to give up on that dream. And he becomes this grumpy old, like I said, SOB, and that needs to be exactly how you find him. Don't touch any of that. Don't touch anything with that. Let's see Cid's journey. Let's see what Cid becomes. Now, I believe Cid Highwind will handle, not identical, but close to identical to how Sonnen handled in Intergrade. As a matter of fact, I still theorize that Sonnen in Intergrade was put in there so that Yuffie has like a story arc, right? Her connection with Deep Ground because of what happened to Sonnen. And that's going to be a discussion for another time, because my theory is anybody outside of that, anomaly at the end of the game is affected by the change in the world. But alas, for this video, we're not getting into that. We will get into that this week, though. We'll dive into that pretty heavy. But I believe Sonnen was an early test model of Cid Highwind, the way he handles with his pole arms and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not the same model, but if you look at Cid Highwind, you look at Sonnen, they're probably right around the right build, right about the right size. I think Sonnen's a little bit taller than Cid. I think Sonnen's probably about the height of like Vincent. I think Vincent and Barrett are the 2 tallest party members. But I think he's going to handle like Cid. He's kind of built like Cid, kind of slender, athletic. Well, that's like every Final Fantasy character, though, right? Except for Barrett, slender and athletic. But I do believe that we see Cid Highwind will handle a lot like Sonnen did. And I'm excited because the team up limit breaks, the team up special moves and stuff that we know they're introducing, because they introduced them in Intergrade. I'm looking forward to so much more of that. I think Cid Highwind will be a big linchpin for that. Also, I want to see his ties with Shinra. Like really, I want to see more back and forth with him and Rufus, him dogging Rufus's old man, and then Rufus probably agreeing with him, and then be like, you know what, old dude, we shut down your program, and that's that. Because Cid's only a couple years older than Sing, which means he's not much older than Rufus either, I do believe. So it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic with Cid and Shinra goes, because that, for me, is the biggest thing I want to see. And that's the biggest thing I want to speculate on is, will it go into more of his time with Shinra? And I hope it does. I hope it does. There are so many subplots and threads that they can explore in Final Fantasy VII Remake's world that they're creating, the narrative that they're creating. Because it's kind of like what was old is new again, but we never got a whole lot of fleshing out with some characters, and I feel like Cid was one of those. They gave us the high points, and really that's all you needed with that character. But after a couple of decades of mulling over the character, you know, we're 25th anniversary this year, and thinking about that character, he's one of the more fascinating characters to me in that story. You know, missing out on your dreams, selling your soul to a company you don't necessarily want to be with just because they're going to be the company that puts you in this place you want to be. You know, that's Cid's story in a nutshell. Brilliant pilot, ace pilot. He's an amazing mechanic, pilot kind of guy, but, you know, just life did him dirty, and here he is. So I'm excited about Cid, and I think that's what they're going to do. I think it's going to handle like Sonnen. His gameplay is going to be very much like Sonnen. I want to see what they do with his voice, because in Advent Children, I didn't like the, you know, oil tycoon kind of voice they had for the guy. It kind of, almost to me, it felt like Cid Highwind could have been wearing a 10-gallon hat, and it would have fit for that voice, you know. I don't mind. They were trying to go with a bit of a southern kind of sound, but he didn't sound southern. He sounded stereotypically southern. You know what I mean? Like, I'm southern, and I speak southern, but I ain't say, hey y'all, and it's the sheriff, she's a beaut. You know, that's not how we talk. You know, so a more grounded version of that I think would sound good. He's got to have that gruff, he's got to have that roughness in his voice, and the actor that plays Cid has got to bring it on that. So I'm really excited for what that could be. I really am looking forward to more coming out. But you all were asking me about Cid Highwind. That's my thoughts on that. Yes, he's going to be in Remake Part 2. I think the whole cast will be set by the midway point of Remake Part 2. And if the mocap, I hope the mocap that leaked was from Remake Part 3, because if it's from Remake Part 2, we are still 2 years out from getting this game. And I hope that's not the case. So please let everybody else be right and let that be from Remake Part 3. But anyway, that's it for this video. Real quick, I just want to dive into some Cid Highwind for you all. My thoughts, my take on the character, where I want to see him go. And there's a lot they can do with him. There's a lot they can do with the Highwind and unlocking different areas you can go once you get the Highwind. And Cid will be markedly responsible for getting them there. Anyway, I got more thoughts on Cid Highwind coming in another video this week. Post your comments below and let me know what you're looking forward to with Cid Highwind. I hope we get a great character. Vincent was the character I was looking forward to the most, but now I'm kind of leaning towards Cid Highwind, to be honest with you. Because we know what we're going to get with Vincent, right? We don't necessarily know what we're going to get performance-wise with Cid. So, I'm excited. But lock it in here, subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, comment in the comment section. And until next time, as always, y'all have a great day. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. I will see you all in the next video.
Each and every day is the same day. Life is left in line. Turn around and you tomorrow. We'll see what has become.
I want to say a quick thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members and supporters. If you would like to support the future creation of content on this channel, get some few extra perks and some art sent to your door every month, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. Details and links are in the video description.